Hi, and welcome back to another episode of The Breakdown with Bethany. I'm Bethany Braun Silva, and today my guest is the lovely Lindsay Arnold. You may know Lindsay from her time on Dancing with the Stars. She was a pro on the hit show, and in the last few years, she's stayed home to raise her beautiful girls, Sage and June, do a bit of content creation, and run her company, The Movement Club. We're going to be talking about her back to school tips, how she's running her business, and of course, staying sane as a mom to two very active girls. Lindsay is chock full of inspiration, so you're definitely going to want to check this one out. All right, Lindsay, I'm really excited to talk to you. And full transparency for anyone's listening or watching, we were supposed to meet last week. My kids, we had an emergency, a small emergency with my son. And as I was looking at your Instagram to prepare for this interview, I noticed you had put like a video of your two girls on their power wheels being like, this is a glimpse into
Yes.
the future of like crazy. I have two boys and they're 8 and
Okay.
12, and you're absolutely right. So let's first start by like checking in, like how are things going in your household? Like,
They're crazy. I feel like this time of year, like literally when we had to like postpone, I'm like, I feel so like I feel like that's me every other day. I'm having to like push things off. I'm late to things. I feel like I'm just like running around with my head cut off half the time. But then there's like so many fun moments that just kick you back in of like, this is the best thing ever. Like being a mom is so crazy and so hard all the time. But then it's like literally the best job in the whole entire world. So I feel like it's just a constant like craziness. And especially this time of year, like getting back into school, getting back into a routine. It's nice, but it's also really hard because then you're like, okay, shoot, I've got to be on time. I've got to be on top of things. And that just makes things more confusing.
absolutely. I could not agree with you more. So I'm in New York, and I feel like we're the last part of the country to head back to school. My boys don't even go back until Tuesday. Like we're not back yet. And I
Wow.
know you guys are back to school, like Sage is in
Yep.
pre-K and like you're doing all the things. So talk to us a little bit about how you prep. I know they're still so little, which is so nice. But like
I know.
how are you prepping for that back to school time? Do you have any tips and tricks? I still have a few more days to go.
Well, honestly, like you said, I feel like it's not full. Like I know there's I'm like your kids are probably going to school every day, all day. There's so many things, and it's crazy how like even with Sage only being 3, there is so much that is going on in her little world. So much carpooling, and it's just crazy. It's a transition from somewhere where it's basically a free for all to now it's like okay, we've got a lot of things on our plate. And I feel like the biggest thing for me, I mean, I'm new to this, so you probably have more tips, but I'm new to this, but I feel like I recognize so much in the summer how like being outside and making sure we were active throughout the day helped so much. Like stepping away from the screens, getting outdoors, and prioritizing that family time. So, with all the crazy, hectic schedules that we have going into the fall, I'm really trying to prioritize that, which is why I'm so excited to be taking the Juicy Juice pledge to play outside because it's all about committing to prioritizing outdoor fun. And I just think that is so important, especially as Sage has gotten older. I've just seen how that's helped her. And it's so cool because all you have to do to take the pledge is go to visit juicyjuicePlayOutside.com to sign. And my favorite part about this is by taking the pledge, parents will have a chance to win a brand new backyard play set and a year's worth of Juicy Juice 100% juice. So it's like, it's a really cool pledge that I'm loving to take because it's encouraging parents to do something that I already believe is so important, but then it's also able to get back to awesome parents because I know this time is also so stressful with just so many things. Like, just everything is going on. And I feel like it's very important to like focus on what's important with your family.
Absolutely. And I'm going to take the pledge because,
Yes, please do. It's the best.
of my kids, we do try to keep them off the screens during the summer, but then they get like a Chromebook or an iPad for school. So even though it's restricted to what they can and can't access, I do find them kind of leaning on that during the school time. So we love being outdoors, and this sounds like amazing. Like who wouldn't want a lifetime supply of juicy or no, a year supply of juicy juice?
I know, I know.
Like that's a
Literally amazing.
but
And it's so cool because they've also joined forces with the nonprofit organization Kaboom to help build and equip outdoor play spaces in communities where they're not as accessible, which I love because literally, like, I don't think I would have survived the summer without all the parks and places that we could just go to with my kids. And even though, like, it gets cooler, I actually find going outdoors and playing at parks is more fun in the cooler months because you're not like dying of heat. So we love to go do that, take a little like lunchbox and just go play outside. And I feel like that's something that can help all parents in this crazy season of life.
absolutely. I mean, and we really look to you, it's like not only being this incredible dancer and public figure, but you are kind of like a pinnacle of like health and wellness. So how are you working to instill that into your girls and that into your family? I mean, I know you do incredible food recipes. You have, a company dedicated to movement and wellness, but tell us about how, even though they're so little, like how are you showing your girls to be healthy?
Totally. I think focusing on the way that we feel is so important and making movement and getting outside and doing active things, making it fun, I think is the biggest thing. Because even as an adult, I work out and I move my body because it makes me feel good. Like that's truly the motivating factor for me. But I also need what I'm doing to be fun and to be enjoyable and to be like a release. And I feel like just teaching your kids like the why behind it. Because I feel like as adults, a lot of us struggle with the why behind moving our bodies, taking care of our bodies. And I feel like it's so easy to get stuck in the route of like, I'm doing this because I want to look a certain way and I need to fit a certain mold. And instilling our kids in such a young age, like it is crazy. I have two girls. Body image, I know, will be something that they will have to deal with. And right now, they're not really aware of that. And I want to keep that. I want to keep that as long as I possibly can. And I feel like if we're instilling in our kids at a young age to take care of the body so that they can do the fun activities that they love, I feel like it will help them shift that mindset and keep their priorities straight when it comes to movement.
Absolutely. And I've also really been enjoying like the content you're creating on Instagram. I like to see you sort of lean into that. Like I know it's always a pivot, right? Like you are known for one thing, but now, you're a business owner and you're creating amazing recipes and we're seeing your beauty routine. So can you tell us a little bit about like transitioning from like being on like dancing every day on television
Yeah.
to like owning your own content and like your business and stuff like that?
Yeah, it was a huge transition because just like you said, it's like I was known for one thing for pretty much my entire life. Like I am and will always be a dancer. Like that is like at my core who I am. But becoming a mom and having a full life shift and stepping away from a career that I had done for almost 10 years definitely brings its challenges because you have to kind of shift of like, okay, what do I care about? What are my passions? And I'm really glad that I dove into that. And it was really cool because I feel like I could kind of just direct my energy and love for dance still into movement, into something new that I'm still extremely passionate about, but still fits my lifestyle. And that's why I created my workout program, the Movement Club, because obviously as a dancer, movement is so important to me. Like that is how I made it through so many phases in my life and things in my life. And so being able to bring that into like a new area and then also be a business owner and take on that side of things has just been so cool. But I will say like the transition is tough. Not changing your identity because like I said, I'm always like I am a dancer, that's who I am. But like shifting kind of your lifestyle and everything it's challenging, but it's so worth it.
Yeah. And if it's okay to talk about, you did mention that you aren't coming back for season 33.
Yeah.
I think the last time you were on was season 31. And I actually interviewed Whitney Carson this time last year when she was stepping away. And now
Yeah, yeah.
she's back.
I
Um, I
know.
know
Just announced today. It's
I
so
know
exciting.
it's incredible. So she wanted to take some time, raise her boys, and now here I am talking to you. I know you said never say never on your TikTok,
Yeah.
but like,
Yeah.
is that kind of like I know you're a dancer. I know that's like in your blood, in your bones. Like, is that something you would be open to revisiting? Maybe in seasons to come?
Yeah, absolutely. Truly every year. It's not like I've not been like I'm out for a couple of years now. It's kind of just like every year, just seeing how we feel. And like I said, kind of I've shared this on social media, but like until I feel the like, oh, I want to do this now. Like I really want to change and shift everything about my life, but I haven't felt that yet. I've been feeling very content with where I am. And so I'm kind of just going season by season.
I love that. I think that, I've been a parenting journalist. I have this podcast where I talk about moms and like moms who are running their own businesses, who are making huge pivots. So I love that. And I just love that you have sort of like the confidence and like to be able to like confidently step away and knowing that it'll be there and we're going to so welcome you if you ever decide to come
Oh,
back. I
thank
mean, I
you.
could just imagine like the reception. So I love that. And you're setting such an incredible example for other moms out there who want to take time to like build something on their own, to spend time
Yeah.
with their families. So I really do appreciate that.
Thank you.
Something else that I like love, like that you and your husband always make time for date night, it seems. Like
Yes, we try.
a little bit about that. You guys are just in the mountains. Like it seems like you guys are really prioritizing your relationship. I know that's so important. So tell us a little bit about that.
100%. I would say we were so bad at that with our first, like having Sage and that first year of like new parents for the first time. I would say confidently we were terrible at it. Like, I don't think we ever went on dates. And part of that was because we were just like so, like, couldn't even fathom leaving our child. Like, we were just like, we can't leave her. We cannot do that. But now, like, especially having two, I mean, having two changes everything. And I mean, we want to have more. So we know it's going to get even crazier in this house. But I feel like when we had two, we're like, okay, now it's not going to just happen upon us. Like, we're not just going to get to have alone time very often. So we really need to make sure that we choose it. And we have just noticed that we started doing that at the beginning of this year. Like, okay, we have to have one date night a week. And that doesn't always mean like going out. Maybe it's just like setting up a night, doing a movie night at our house after the girls are to sleep. But when I tell you, it has been the best thing ever. Like, it is so fun to date your spouse. Like, I feel like that's so underrated, but like, it is really fun to get every once in a while, get dressed up cute, go on a date and like feel that like, okay, we're each other. Like, we're married and forget, like, we're not just parents. Like, we're also husband and wife. And it's been so awesome for us. So cannot recommend enough. But I also know how hard it is. Like, we're very blessed and grateful that we have family and loved ones around us who are willing to watch our kids, because I know that that's not what everybody has available to them.
Right. But no, it is important to prioritize, and it seems like you guys do it really, really beautifully. So that's incredible.
You.
Um,
Thank you.
Wrapping up, but I do want to ask because I mentioned my kids are a bit older. I have an 8-year-old and a 12-year-old, two boys, but I still am so like, I don't know, I don't want to say traumatized, but like by the transition, like you mentioned, from one kid to two, and
Yeah.
how like my kids really, like my older one didn't even acknowledge my little one for like
Oh.
many months. And I'm wondering, Sage and June, how was it when you went from one kids to two? How are they as siblings, and like how is Sage and June came into the picture, all of that?
So I actually think it's really funny because my opinion on that has shifted drastically. When June was first born, I am so lucky, count my freaking blessings, that Sage was just so excited, so happy. There was zero jealousy, zero like issue there. She was so great. She adjusted to that transition so easy. And when you asked me those first, like, honestly, like the first year, I was like, this is easy. Like, going from one to two feels totally fine. A newborn feels so easy when you've already done it. Like, the second time around, you're like, their needs are so small, especially when you have a toddler to compare it to. But I will say, now that they are both active human beings that can climb on tables, open a front door, like, there's more emotions involved. Now I'm feeling like, okay, this is kind of crazy. Like, I feel like in the past like 6 months, June has just become so much of like her own little human. And so I'm feeling like it's getting a bit crazier. But I will say, like, it is so fun that they can play together. They play really, really well together. I mean, obviously they have their moments as sisters, but like, I kind of love watching that because I grew up with sisters. So I'm like, we need to have it. You got to have the sister moments. But I feel like it's shifted. Like, there's been months where I'm like, two is easy. And then there's months where I'm like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. But I just feel like that's motherhood. Like, I feel like there's constants, like, I'm killing this. And then you're like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. So I feel like I'm very on track with what everybody has told me about two kids.
Absolutely. It sounds completely normal. Like one
Right? I'm like,
day
that's just life.
got it one day, and even like the next hour, you could be like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah. I swear the second you say like, oh, things are going pretty good today, your kids are like, oh, really, mom? And then they just they lay it on. They lay it on heavy.
I love it. All right, so wrapping up, are there any future projects we can look forward to seeing you in or doing anything like that?
Well, I feel like we mentioned my workout program, the Movement Club, and like we are doing so many fun things. We're about to launch a bridal program, which I'm super excited about because I am incorporating a little bit of my dance background in there to help people with some of their dance needs for weddings. So I'm really excited. Like, I love that I have the ability to just create what I'm passionate about and pursue these different facets of my life. And I just think there's going to be a lot more to come with that. So I'm super excited about it.
I can't wait. Lindsay, thank you so much. This is so great talking to you, and I'm so glad we finally got to connect. So,
I know, me too.
yeah, thank you for all the back to school tips and everything. And yeah, just amazing, amazing. You're doing great with your two girls.
Thank you. And you're killing it with yours too. We are awesome. Moms are awesome. Like, truly, I feel like I have to say that to myself. I'm like, okay, you're doing a really good job. You've got this. We can do it.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.